Sorry about that. My alarm went off at 2:22 unexpectedly. Something to say, right? That's all right. I'll make this a part two. Um, so what I was saying is, if you've been doing your healing work, if you've been standing in your integrity, standing in your power, doing the best you can to do good, learning your lessons, facing your karma, alchemizing your shadow work, things like that, then you actually have a stronger ability to manifest the reality around you if you can hold that focus. And the more time you spend focusing on what they're doing or trying to, like obviously there's a reason that readings like this are out here, right? To give you some information. I'm not saying don't watch them, don't check in yet. Like, no, please watch me, come on here. However, spend more of your time working on good things for you, thinking about good things, imagining the things that you want, right? The things that you desire. Then the needs will come in when you're focused, when you're relaxed, when you're in receptive mode. And that includes your DM, right? And also remember that the more time you spend sitting in a space of lack, like he's not right here, he's not doing the thing I wanted, he's over there, he's away, he's doing this thing, separation, no communication, da 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 da, the more you hold that in place, right? Focus more on what you do have, on the connections that you do have, on the stuff you want more of, and that will become more of your reality, right? So, and especially with the Pisces full moon coming up, I mean, man, I can be one of the first to stand up and say it's definitely a great moon for manifesting things, especially if you got some good emotional energy to bring into it. Just be careful what you wish for. Oh, yeah. That's funny. I hadn't even decided on a question to ask, and a card. I've got my Wonderland Tarot deck out, and the card just immediately popped out as the Five of Oysters. Five of Pentacles is what it is, and it's got a rabbit turtle, and he's crying. I don't know if it's about the oysters or not, but it definitely fits in more with this energy, of like all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put DM's basket of eggs back together again because he put them all in one basket. And if that basket didn't work, then none of the eggs were any good anymore, you know? Um, you know what? I guess let's ask for more information about the eggs. Wow, it's funny. I just saw it didn't come out, but this one, the sun, it actually has Humpty Dumpty on it, right? Thank you for some clarity about why DMs want us to hear this message. That feels like a good question. I mean, we can go to, there's all sorts of plenty of readers who give you all the details about what this, fall apart is and all that stuff. But let's look at like why do DMs want us to know this? This can also tell us a fair amount about should we engage with them right now or not. Okay, let's see. The Page of Peppermills in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. And I feel like I had held my finger over the card where it fell out from. It's the King of Wands, King of Peppermills. Oh, that's interesting. Look what ended up on the bottom, right? So this tells me that it's likely to do with kids. Again, childhood stuff, something about money. The Five of Pentacles is often about contracts. And it's also often about feeling left out in the cold, which is why I was saying it was kind of fitting and ironic to the whole, both DF and karmic walk away from masculine. And the Wands cards, especially the pages, can also be about communication, messages, things like that. So I get the sense that these masculines are quiet right now. And wait. I'm not going to sing it because I get in trouble for that on YouTube, but I'm near a gas station and somebody just pulled up and it's that song, Against the Wind, I'll be coming against the wind. So anyways, let's look at the hot topic. So got the Eight of Flamingos, which is the Eight of Swords, and it's, in a typical deck, that's like that self-imprisonment. Like you could walk away, you could walk out of it, but you're not. You're caught in your thoughts, right? And I'm getting a sense that, I mean, although I don't normally attach gender to the card, to these particular cards when I see them, I do get the sense that there is the, you know, the hot topic is a feminine who, you know what I get the sense of. Okay, there's a couple feminine energies. There's one that's like, it's like if you've got somebody who's like drunk, right? And you go and let's say you lay some flamingos down, some swords down in a path that prevents them from like walking off a cliff, right? And but they don't know, they don't see it. They're kind of, you know, they're blindfolded themselves, they're intoxicated, they're under spell work, whatever way you want to say it. And so all they're seeing is that you have created this sword wall, and they feel trapped because they want to walk that way. They don't see that there's a cliff there. They don't see that there is danger ahead. They just know that they feel like they're trapped there. And so, even though they could, you see here, there's no flamingos in front of her, even though they could walk out the other way, and for all intents and purposes, they could go and walk around the swords. You know what I mean? Go be a lemming. But instead they're standing there feeling like they're imprisoned by their own, and they are in a way by their own thoughts, right? um, and it feels like there's another feminine energy that is also like doing that on the other side of it. So like even though the flamingos or swords have wide enough gap that you could easily get around them and get through them and get to a safe situation, that these masculines are feeling, they're feeling trapped by too many things. I also feel like they're kind of being tormented by, I want to say, some group that they live with. You know what I mean? This doesn't seem like something that's like people from far away. This seems like people who would metaphorically sit around their dinner table are like pecking at them and standing there kind of doing the I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching, like that kind of thing. But then also some of them are just, they're just being mean, being pirates, flamingo pirates, you know what I mean? And so that's like this hot topic, and it feels like it's a message that DMs want you to have but aren't ready to give you in 3D yet. Let's see. In the heart of the matter, Ace of Flamingos in reverse, so Ace of Swords in reverse. And you know what? I'm going to look underneath that card because I feel like it will say something about what that is, because this is an end to a contract. Wow, all the rest of my cards just fell onto the floor. So you're going to keep falling? They stopped falling at the Judgment card, which has the white rabbit. You know, I'm late for a very important date. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, right under that, Four of Wands in reverse, the World, High Priestess in reverse, Six of Pentacles. Oh, yep, there go the rest of it. So, by the cards falling, and falling the way that they have, with these cards sitting the way that they are, what I'm getting the sense of is it's like that, the ring around the rosy thing, but the part of it where it's, and we all fall down, right? And it feels like it's kind of that, like, yeah, there's the Three of Swords. Um, Tired of being judged, tired of whichever way they try to do things, it's wrong to somebody. And they have their own moral compass. It feels like their moral compass likely lines up with yours, but they were, you know, they were being in this energy, right? Page of Wands in reverse. They're being childish. They weren't communicating well. They, you know, they may have cut off communication with you in several instances, because, you know, whatever the karmic situation was, either, you know, there was probably some amount of like what they thought was childish fun, drinking, drugs, gambling, things like that. And like they know that they need to do better. They know that, you know, they've known, but they could get away with pretending like they were a victim to it. They could get away with pretending like they didn't know any better as long as they weren't interacting with you. And it feels like this is, it feels like what they're saying. Let me finish getting these cards off the floor. The Cheshire Cat. You know what's funny? I went into a Walmart the other day to use the bathroom, and somebody had left their phone in the bathroom stall. And I picked it up and it automatically turned on. I guess I don't know if it has one of those sensors that like tells it when you picked it up or whatever. I know some phones do. But what made me laugh is, you know what I saw was the Cheshire Cat, but it's the one from the more, not the modern Alice in Wonderland, but like, you know how people have like put like rainbow colors in the eyes and teeth and stuff like that. But that's what it was, and it made me laugh because Alice in Wonderland is a very big sync for me. It's part of where I got the motto "Embrace the absurd," you know, and I always remember that quote, you know. Well, I butcher the quote, but what it meant to me is like, the problem with you, dear Alice, is that you are a very real girl in a very unreal world, right? And it just made me laugh to see that. Like, somebody left their phone in there, and I happened to go into that stall and pick up a phone with the Cheshire Cat on it, right? It feels like somehow that's a part of this message. Like, of all the people in the world, all the bars I gotta walk into, of all the situations I had to get into, I had to get into it with you. And it feels like DMs are kind of in that energy about both karmics and DFs, you know, which is okay. Like, let them be there. Let them be in their space. It feels like some of them may even, like, there may soon be some messages for you. I have a feeling most of them are not going to be fighty or bitey or piratey. But there might be a few because DMs are emotional, because a lot of things are happening all at once, and things like some that they expected and were trying to delay, some that they expected anyways, and some that they weren't expecting at all, like total plot twists that they did not see coming, right? Um, I also get the sense that there are a fair amount of these DMs who are in this energy of like, there's something that they know that they need to do that is like morally upright, that would correct some very big karma, and would help them and their loved ones in a lot of great ways. And they're like almost ready to do it, but they're also not. And then on the other side, it's like the angel and the devil on the shoulder. They've got people encouraging them to do things that they know are low vibe, that are even more bad karma, and largely to cover up the things that they've been doing that have already created the crap karma that made the situation where they had all their eggs in one basket and then dropped it and then had no more eggs and have to go hunt for wild chickens again just to try to get a few eggs and get the, what is it, get the right hemp rope to be able to make wicker baskets out of again so that they can have more than one and do the lesson right. It's kind of this like start over energy. But I do get the sense that it is good for you to focus on you right now, because these DMs are very emotional, and like, you might, depending on your, you know, relationship to them, past and present, you might already need to interact with them for various different reasons, but the rest of the time, focus on you. Focus on the different eggs in the different baskets that you have. You know, focus on things that bring you gratitude. Focus on the steps in front of you, you know? All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next video.